I'm going to ask you, but look at the look on your face. Look at the look on your face. What do you make of all of it?
I mean, I think we're all reeling in a state of shock, aren't we, anyway? But, I mean, to just that speech alone made me so angry. Not a hint of apology, no humility. People's mortgages across the nation are going up by hundreds of pounds a month. The place is in a mess. And she comes out almost a little bit annoyed that she wasn't able to deliver a mandate, which, let's face it, was something she probably played about with on the back of an envelope when she was at uni with her friends. And I can't help but feel that there's really something very dark going on here, in that all the people that worked with her for 10 years must have picked up she did not have the nous for the job. She didn't have the intellect, she didn't have the integrity, she didn't have the character, and yet she was put in there. Now...
Yeah, but you say that she was just put in there. It was put to a vote. It may not have been a full public vote, but it was put to a vote to a
tiny amount of people. And here we go again. Somebody now is going to be anointed by these people that have messed up the country for the last 12 years. And again, we're not going to get a say.
Why
and the fact that Boris is flying back to save us all is, I don't know what to do with myself. And I would suggest, however crazy this is, that Boris knew exactly how much he was going to mess up, so that he could come in and say, oh, what a terrible mess. Oh, what am I going to do? Maybe I'll come in and sort it all out, wipe the women away and get on with it. Call me crazy, but that's what it feels like.
But I know, Frankie, as Nadia was ranting, you did ask a very good question, actually, and that was why it can't go to a public vote, because that is what part of the issue is at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fully understand a lot of... I mean, I get what's going on, but I'm like, I know we all laugh because we have become a laughing stock. Like, our country has become a laughing stock, but we know it's a very serious situation. I feel like they've already been given the opportunity to pick someone themselves. They've done a really bad job at it. Yeah. So why can't it be opened up to the public now? The public, we're the ones that are being affected by these decisions.
Because our constitution doesn't allow for it. Because, as they keep saying, every Tory minister that you hear speak, those that dare to come onto any shows, they will say, well, a turkey doesn't ask for Christmas, does it? Because they know there'll be a goner if we have another election. Because they know that a large portion of the country is extremely angry with the way that they've behaved.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I was talking to Rob Peston about it yesterday, he was sort of saying that, you know, when you look at the opinion polls, that the gap between those who would vote Labour and those who would vote Conservative, percentage-wise, it's just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And the reality is, under Liz Truss, they're in a situation where if they would go to the polls now, it's likely they could potentially lose a third of their MPs, which is a huge amount.
Their power.
Yeah, so the Conservatives, it makes it easier for them to not call a general election because they may well end up in opposition.
But again, it's just all about them.
Of course.
What about
it's ego-driven, it's not nationally driven. They're not thinking about the individuals. No. They're thinking about themselves and their own power.
But there's been a lot of argument at the minute about the fact that perhaps Liz Truss had been put in a position where she was never going to win.
Well, there is a thing, isn't it? There's a thing in regards to women called a glass cliff, where they're put in positions, exec positions or political positions, where everybody can see and know it's going to fail already. So when that woman goes into a place and it does feel like you was kind of saying, and like you're saying, you know, everybody else, especially the men, can come to the rescue. But I just think it's just weird anyway. Liz Truss, and no one felt like they could trust her. That sums it up, really, doesn't it? Regardless, I'm not great with all the whole political stuff, but I know a bit. And obviously, if King Charles could call it and say,
this is it.
Let's go for a general election.
It is actually a thing that King Charles could say, loss of confidence. You know, he could do something like... And so I was thinking about this. You could be our last hope because you've got... no, she met him. You had hors d'oeuvres with him, didn't you? And fizzy wine.
Yes, he's got quite personality, yes.
You're such a Charles fan.
I know, it's when he said... Oh, so lovely to meet you, Judy. Oh, so lovely.
Judy appealed to him to call a snap election. Could you cook him something? What would you cook him?
Look, King Charles the Donna, yeah. I don't mind sliding into your DMs and for you to come and save the nation. I can stew you down a little curry goat and a little okra. Charlie knows what that's good for.
Yes, I do.
So, look, everyone's saying it. Call it, call it, King Charles, call it.
Give us a chance to have our say.
You know what? Because... OK, well, let's put it to the vote with you guys then. So I'll run through how this works. So it is, he does hold the power to dissolve Parliament. The last time it was used was in 1834.
Wow.
And that was with King William IV. So I'm going to put it out to you guys in the audience. A show of hands. How many of you would like King Charles to intervene at this point?
Yay!
That's a show of everyone's hands.
And just so everyone knows, they're not under pressure to vote in that way. Yeah. You're able to make your own independent decision. And whilst I've got you, let's do it regarding Boris Johnson as well, because, you know, the thought process is that he may well choose to run again. So if you would quite like him to throw his name into the hat another time, let's see a show of hands. Who would quite like that?
Wow. I mean,
A proven liar that broke the law over and over again.
do you know, but it should be made into a sitcom. Well, we're living it.
It was the thick of it, but now it's for real. We actually just watch it. It's hilarious.
You lot are messy about, I want Boris Johnson.
We haven't really got any good choices, have we?
No.
So
I'm going to throw
like-
something else into the works, because despite the fact that Liz Truss resigned on her 45th day, she is still entitled to her full pension, her full prime ministerial pension.
For the rest
how
of
they
her life.
should-
Well, I don't think I need to
150.
put that to the vote with you guys. And she is entitled to £115,000 a year.
A year?
A
Not
year.
For the
just
rest
for
of
one
her
off.
life.
For the rest of
The
her
rest
life.
of her life?
Because that's how the rules are currently.
But she
Does it
works
matter how
for full-
long?
It doesn't, because I guess
You
because
could be
this
there 2
situation,
days.
I guess this is because this is historical. We have never had a prime minister that has only lasted for 45 days. So in terms of putting that into the constitution, we've never been in this situation before. So yes, she's entitled to it, like several other prime ministers that have gone before. But I'll compare this to if you want to get, for instance, statutory maternity pay, you have had to have worked in the company for 26 weeks.
Wow.
And we have a situation where a
We are
Prime Minister
messed
can
up.
get it after working for 45 days. What do you reckon to that, Nadia?
Well, you know what? I think when she came out to her lectern to not apologise or not have humility or not anything, she should have said, the one thing she could have said was, I'm going to donate my $115,000 to all the food banks in my constituency. That's what she should have done. I think it's a disgrace. So at the moment, you were saying, we were chatting about this earlier, Charlene, when you said, so we're paying 7 prime ministers at the moment, $115,000 a year. And
Wow.
I really do pray she comes forward and says she's not going to take that, because it's a disgrace.
I just think if she'd like, you know, it's a lot of money for us all to be paying, but if she'd done her job, then you can go, OK, it's in the rules, the others we're paying for
She hasn't even unpacked.
It's just not even...
There will be tea chests that have been unpacked, won't there? The kitchen won't be sorted out yet.
No, all that stuff would definitely have been done. But what's been really interesting is how this has all been played out online. I've loved the way loads of you have been getting, especially people watching, but also in this panel, getting involved on the socials. But there's a brilliant meme around at the moment. I think we can show it, where the current suggestion is that Rick Astley could run for Prime Minister, because he will never give you up or let you down. See?
It's possible. They're playing it like it's a board game.
Yeah.
They're playing
You know.
it like
This is what it's come to.
It has. But, you know, this time next week, we will
knows?
definitely know who is our new Prime Minister, and we may well know as soon as Monday. So stay tuned for the next chapter.